Hello everybody, it is All Night Brony time, and welcome back to Let's Play Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy. And, yeah, here we are again for another good old session. I'm kind of in the spur to record this because it's Labor Day weekend, and I have the time to do so. Also, apparently I just found out that the, Ace Attorney Investigations localization is releasing on Friday. So, next Friday, which is kind of a surprise, and I think we'll be getting that early. I thought we would have to wait at least till next year before we got it. But, that's crazy. Wonder if they plan that, having the Ace Attorney trilogy end release in the same year. Which I know a lot of people are excited about, I'm excited about, and I definitely will be playing it. I will be semi-blind for that series as well. I think I've gone through the first two cases of the first Investigations game in a Let's Play, but other than that, I haven't seen any other of that game, so. But let's get right back ahead. I believe we were in the middle of cross-examining Hugh O'Connor. Oh yeah. We cleared it for the purchase of the photos witnessed by examining his deck. The figure in this photo is wearing a very unique object around his neck. Why, yes, you can see it right there. But then are you saying you mean to? Mr. O'Connor's neck is almost entirely concealed by his tall collar. But that's exactly why I believe this warrants further examination. No, not a chance. That would be a blatant violation of my privacy. You are a disgrace of a man. Now start unbuttoning that collar before I hack it off. Yeah, what's the big deal? Now let's see your neck. Guess I have no choice. Oh my. So where did you buy that neckband, if I might ask? I didn't buy it. It's handmade. There's only one like it in the world. Well, it sure looks like a neckband in the photo. Should we have the photo analyzed? You are one irritating lady. Fine. I admit it. I work a part-time construction job. It's nothing to do with our school. Operating heavy equipment's no big deal for a guy who can parallel park one-handed. But I never expected one of my jobs would take me to my own school. But when you factor in all of the required tests and apprenticeship period, wouldn't you have to be at least 20 to have a license for operating a crane? Oh, about that. You see, I'm a genius, so, you know, I can break the law, right? That's totally legal.
Objection!
Let us dispense with this inane charade, golden boy. No, Prosecutor Backwell, please don't! High school seniors are 19 at most. Thus they fail to complete the requirements. But that does not apply to you. Does it, Mr. O'Connor? Why doesn't it apply? He's a senior, so he's around that age, right? No, don't, please! Actually, golden boy, he was 25. He took a 7-year break from school. Oh my god. Wait. Come again? Holy shit, he's the same age as me. Take a gander at the official school enrollment documentation. It's all right there. Yeah. 25? You mean he's older than me? A 25-year-old in high school? A 7-year break. 7 years. I've just one thing to say. There are two kinds of 7-year breaks. There are the kind you mouth breathers take. And the genius kind people like me take. Oh god, this guy sounds like an anti-gamer. Oh, they're both breathing neck beards! But a genus would quickly become a chore for a 7-year break. I think you have that backwards, Athena. Even geniuses make mistakes. I just happened to make mine only 7 years in a row. Only you could get away with using only like that. Enough of this jibber-jabber. Suffice to say, the witness was up in the crane when he saw the accused dragging the mat. The accused ready all she needed to move the body immediately prior to doing so. That much is clear. I see no need to deliberate the matter further. Considering that the body was moved in the same manner as the script, I find Prosecutor Blackwell's claim to be quite persuasive. Does the defense care to dissuade me? As long as a mat was used to move the body, Junior's going to be under suspicion. Athena, I just thought of something. It's time to fucking bluff our way through this case. What was Hugh doing in the crane right before the mock trial? He couldn't have been on the job at the time. I mean, he was waiting for the trial to start. Yeah, why was he in the crane? Wait, you don't think... Your Honor! Yes, Miss Sykes? I've got it. I've got an amazing idea that will turn the prosecution's claim on its head. Little conjecture has never stopped us before. Oh my god. Interesting. Mr. O'Connor, you were using the crane to move the body. The body was just like it was in the script, so it must have been moved like in the script too. At least that's what the prosecution believes. How simplistic, even foolish. Those are pretty strong words, Athena. You sure about this? The witness is a licensed crane operator, so he could have used it to move the body.
Objection!
Well, Golden Boy, care to chime in? I intend to say no more on the matter. Save that this does not bode well for you. Wait, he's on my side this time? Or is this another trap? Watch this! I can use a bow and arrow one-handed! Wow, that's a crazy level of dexterity. I can drive a crane with one hand. That's easy. But operating the crane itself is so complex, it requires both hands. Now I would have the court look at this. Ouch. Oh, please tell me that's ketchup stain. You wish. My hand was injured and required surgery. That's the reason I kept my hand in my pocket all this time. Honestly, didn't even notice he had his hand in his pocket all this time. I've already verified this with the hospital of treatment. Quite a nasty wound, they say. Wes, but how did he get the wound? That's my question. So, okay, well, she's gonna ask it. So how did you hurt it? I see no need to discuss that. There's no relevance to this case. 2 hands are required to operate complex machinery, such as a crane. Ergo, on the day of the mock trial, the witness was incapable of moving the body by crane. Now I'm the fool! I'd planned on moving the crane the night before the mock trial, but then I got injured. Wanting to keep my part-time job a secret, I had to do it just before the mock trial instead. And here I thought this was the big break we've been waiting for. Now that the defense sophistry is laid bare, I would have the court recall my claim. The body was dropped out of a third-floor window to a mat near the maintenance area. Then a ball cart was used to move it to the stage. See? I've been paying attention. Well done, your boldness. Now consider this. The accused was sighted dragging that mat, ergo it was she who moved the body. Well, I think you're on the right track, Athena. You do? Yeah, Juniper remains the prime suspect if we assume the body was moved per her script. So, as the defense, you have to figure out how else the body could have been moved. Oh, is he telling me to think of another way besides the crane? Excuse me. Miss Sykes, if you have a counter-argument, this court would love to hear it, and if you do not, it is time for the verdict. Isn't that correct, your boldness? No, not yet. All I have to do is show that the body wasn't moved like it was in the script, right? Well, that would show that the match had nothing to do with this case. It is a sword of great renown that cuts down sophistic lawyers. Its name is evidence. You don't scare me. There's a smile, Athena. You can do it. What's wrong with your face, Athena? It's a weird mix of terror and creepy grin. Just focus on how the body could have been moved without it being dropped. How could anyone lower it without just dropping it? It's not like it could fly. Or maybe it could. After all, there is a way to zip between the art room and the stage. Someone could have easily used that thing. Oh yes, of course. Miss Sykes, the court would like to see what you have for us. All I have to do is show the tiniest shred of a possibility. The manned ball cart weren't used to move the body. This is what was used. It's the school banner.
Take that!
The key here is the thing that ties the art room and the stage together. Might I propose an idea? It might do you well to tie your lips together, lest you further expose your ignorance. This isn't exactly the time for black comedy, Prosecutor Blackwell. Anyway, the court will recall the wire on which the school banner was hung. That wire was strung between the art room and the stage, which allowed students to run or reel in the school banner from the art room. The body could have easily been lowered down to the stage via this wire.
Objection!
Spare me your armchair theories. This wasn't some kind of high-wire act. The body surely would have fallen. Yet there are no signs of blunt force trauma. The music in this game is so good.
Objection!
Oh, you surprised me, Prosecutor Blackwell. You didn't actually think I failed to account for that? I'm sure that's exactly what he thought. When we investigated the stage yesterday, the bottom part of the school banner had been tied into a pouch-like shape. And pouches are useful for carrying things. What do you think this one could have carried? Well, go on, please explain. The body was bundled into the pouch-like section of the banner and sent down the wire. The body could have been down on that stage in a flash, and there'd be no need for a mat. I've heard the phrase carrying the banner, but the banner doing the carrying. Is that a Newsies reference? Nah, it's probably a reference to something else.
Objection!
I think carrying the banner comes from Newsies. Selling newspapers, I think. I have no patience for you and your cheap parlor tricks. Your claim is as shaky as a corpse performing that absurd high-wire act. If you have an actual objection, then just come out and say it. I trust you recall the bloodstains left on the art room pottery. If the wire had been used to move the body, it would have to be via the window above the quad, the one with the winch. However, the bloodstained pottery was next to the window above the maintenance area. Ergo, the wire and the banner had not at all to do with this case. Oh, the bloodstained pottery, I remember that. This doesn't look good. We'll be back to math theory if you don't do something. Well, Miss Sykes, I hope you have something better this time than the circus act. If my wire theory is true, then that blood on the pottery must not have been... Probably it wasn't the victim's blood. Maybe it's not the victim's blood. Did the police check to see from whom the blood on the pottery came from? Shame on you, Sykes Donal. Have a little more respect for the constabulary. Fulbright! Looks like they didn't check it. Don't let it get you down, Prosecutor Blackwell. Everyone makes mistakes. Spare me your cheek. We will not either way till the tests are run. True, but in the meantime, I'm going to press my claim as far as I can. Your baldness, I demand that the blood on the pottery be analyzed this instant. Of course, it shouldn't take long to get the results back. Oh my, that was quick. We're history if it turns out to be the victim's blood. Please, please let it be someone else's. It seems the blood was not from the victim. What? Excuse me. Furthermore, a comparison with other parties involved with this case reveals that the blood belongs to one Hugh O'Connor. He wasn't injured before. Oh. Well, Hugh, there goes your excuse to not be able to operate the crane, but we know it probably wasn't moving the body using the crane. Score! How'd your blood get all over that pottery? Is that how you injured yourself? Oh! Your Honor, as we saw earlier, the witness's left hand had suffered a serious injury. He sustained the wound in a struggle with the victim, and his blood got on the pottery. Then Junie saw his blood-stained hands as they passed each other in the first-floor hall. It's the only explanation that covers everything.
Objection!
There is but one way now to turn aside her blade, but do not cast the blame on me. Your grudge is with Sykes, Donal, for it is she who forces me to expose your secret. Fine, whatever. Wow, how much dirt does he have on Hugh? The court will observe this odd-looking envelope. It was inside that Miriam Scuttlebutt's script was found. Miss Scuttlebutt's? But didn't the prosecution already claim that this envelope is the one that contained her script? Circumstances have changed. You see, Golden Boy had hidden this from us all. Let's see here. My word! Talk about the world's most painful paper cut. Indeed, you can clearly see that if this envelope is not opened correctly, a powerful spring-loaded blade will shoot forth, leaving a horrible gash upon the hand. The only one who had been told of the correct way to open it was Constance Court. Miriam, you could face jail time for that. Yikes, Miriam wasn't kidding when she said that. The blood on the blade is the witnesses. Our genius here tried to sneak a peek at the wrong script, and paid for his foolishness. Ouch! This guy's the worst genius I've ever seen. Don't worry, Athena. The wound isn't that deep. You still got the wire theory. Yeah, I've got it. Since the blood by the window overlooking the maintenance area isn't the victim's, there's no longer any basis for denying the body was moved using the wire and banner. Therefore, the defense once again asserts just that. You call yourself a lawyer? Don't you see the glaring contradiction in your thinking? Huh? The court would like to remind the witness that his role is not to point out. And you would adhere to such outdated beliefs, but whatever. It seems you've forgotten the two statues that were on stage directly below the wire. A body sent sliding down that wire would have crashed into them. Care to explain that away? Why, I believe he's right. Statues and the wire are extremely close together. Ugh, so this body would have collided with the statues? What if they did collide? Wait, that's it! Speaking of those statues, we still don't know how they were broken. But if we assume the body crashed into them, that would also explain that loud sound we heard while we were in the waiting room. Oh, now that you mention it, you and Mr. Wright went out to the stage after you heard the sound, correct?
Objection.
Interesting. How very interesting. But may I ask just one question? When was it that you heard said sound? It was a little after the mock trial had started. Mr. Wright and I were practically bored to tears there in the waiting room when— Ah! Precisely. That sound you heard did happen while the body was being moved. That would place it during the mock trial. Oh, which means the body wouldn't have been there before the mock trial started. He said he saw the body before the mock trial. If so, then my claim that the body was moved during the mock trial doesn't hold water. Stupid contradiction. It's going to get me and our case killed. His focus was on just 3 suspects because the body was moved before the mock trial. That has been the major premise thus far. The assertion therefore contradicts the very foundations of this case. Both sides still lacked incontrovertible evidence. So should we not also treat Golden Boy's testimony with some level of suspicion? Good point. But Prosecutor Blackwell is on our side. I bet he's figured out the truth behind this case. Well, great, as long as he's not up to something else. The statues really were broken when the body hit them. And your statement about seeing the body before the mock trial is a big fat lie. Okay, Mr. O'Connor, let's get to the bottom of this contradiction about when you saw the body. Look me straight in the eyes and repeat your statement to me. Like I said before, before the mock trial, the body was, you know... I shall only say this once, Golden Boy. You had best tell the truth, and do it now. That is, if your head wishes to enjoy the continued companionship of your body. Now, out with it. Did you truly witness the body? Or were you just lying about it? Well, which is it? You what? I never saw the body. Are you sure about that? Lie to this court again, and I'll charge you with perjury. There was no body on that stage. I've been lying about that this whole time. I'm sorry. Yes, I've exposed his big lie for what it is. But why would he lie about this to begin with? Order! The base premise that the body was moved before the mock trial has been overturned. I imagine this has an impact on both the defense and the prosecution's case. Well, first I'd like to thank the prosecutor. This brings us one step closer to the truth. Now at least we know the body was moved using the wire and school banner. Indeed, that much I shall concede, Sextona. The body was moved as you stated, in the midst of the mock trial. So both sides are satisfied, then? The body was moved before the mock trial, we have our 3 suspects. But if the move took place in the midst of the mock trial, it is an entirely different story. Right. All 3 suspects were in the mock trial. That gives them solid alibis. How simplistic. Did you forget about the student in charge of the audio? Amidst the mock trial, she was the one... the one soul who could leave and re-enter the lecture hall. What's this? Who is this person in charge of the audio? Oh no, how could I forget it was... Hey, what's the deal here? Why is Junior so large in the shot? Indeed, the one who could enter the art room amidst the mock trial to move the body was none other than the accused, Juniper Woods, though she was in charge of the audio. No, I can't do girl screams, I'm sorry. Why, yes, I see. That does make perfect sense. This can't be happening. Instead of exposing Hugh's crime, Junie is even deeper. No matter how you slice it, we're cooked. And here I thought Prosecutor Blackwell was on our side. At least on this issue. The Twisted Samurai strikes again. Twisted? It's more like Dirty Rotten. Your baldness? It is time to put an end to this farce. The prosecution has presented a quite convincing case. The defense has one last chance to voice any remaining objections. Well, Miss Sykes? Paula, what are we going to do? I've got nothing left. Nothing. Nada. Niente. I've been trying to think of something, but I'm drawing a big blank, too. Poor Junie. Unless we figure out something, she'll be... Objection. Well... I object to... Stop right there. All ears to me. It's time you heard about the rare genius of Hugh O'Connor. Is he still trying to protect Junie? Listen and you will hear the secret behind my perfect crime. Perfect? Crime? Wait, this is some serious deja vu. Did we just go through something like this yesterday? Yes. Yes, we did. So it better not be another one of his enraging traps. The murder, the moving of the body, the cover-up, it all sprung from my brilliant mind. Well, go ahead, arrest me. The real killer is right before you. Order, I say, but Mr. O'Connor. You already confessed yesterday, then early today you recanted your confession. As if the mouth breathers could comprehend my genius. The end justifies the means. Now bow down and kneel. Kneel before my great and maddening intellect.
Objection!
Enough! The only thing maddening is the ignominy you bear for all to see. For it is impossible for you to have been the perpetrator behind this crime. There is no perfect crime, only a perfect alibi, for you were at the mock trial. And it is silly that I must remind you of this, but you were a participant the entire time. There shall be no mercy if you persist in hindering this trial with your silly little act. You doesn't seem at least bit shaken by Blackwell's threat. Listen, Mr. Prosecutor. Calling that a perfect alibi is beyond contempt. Your Honor, I'd like to take this opportunity to offer further testimony. I will now demonstrate the very moment of genius that transcended even perfection. And we will hear this testimony next time on Apollo Justice, Dual Destinies. Yes, that's right. We have come to the end of this episode, and it's been quite a turnabouts galore in this segment. So now Hugh's confessing, and I feel like through this confession, we're gonna find out a lot more about this case. But it will have to be next time. And until then, thank you all for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to Brony Time for more content, especially more Dual Destinies. Also, please make sure to share this video far and wide so we can get as many new eyes on this series as possible. And I will see you guys next time, where we will listen to Hugh's confession.